Whew. Hey guys, how's it going? Damn, I think I'm sweating a little. Anthony Muthurajah here, back with a new video lesson for you all. I just decided to open the video lesson with me trying to perform this beautiful piece from Bach, the violin partita number 2 in D minor, movement 4. Now, for me, I got a lot of my technical aspects from learning the music of Bach in particular. Bach, whatever, Bach. It's not just technically beautiful, but the music itself, the melodies involved, and the curve of the melodies, the way the music starts and then ends, and what happens in the middle is just so beautiful. Like, if you're looking for something interesting to shed, this is definitely something you should do. All right, so what I want to particularly talk about are 2 elements that I really focused on based on this piece, and after that I will show you a couple of my favorite phrases slowed down. But if you want to see the entirety slowed down, you can just slow down the beginning of the video. YouTube allows you to do that. All right, so now the first thing I want to talk about is how the piece is a single line piece, meaning there's no chords underneath, but the harmony is clearly implied. Like if you take the beginning, for instance, or beninging, that's D minor, then goes to A7, right? And then if you keep going through the rest of the section, what I'm hearing is so it's like moving up and forth actually. Right? That's autumn leaves right there. Fallen leaves. So C major. Right? So the whole piece has this happening. The melodies are flying everywhere, but there is harmony, very subtle harmony underneath. So you might say, okay, how is this useful? For me, when I improvise, I try to think melody, or when I compose music, I like to think melody first, because the very jazz school is having the changes and then the melody on top. But this, to me, is far more intriguing, where there's just melody and there's no chords, but you can hear the chords. So that is, in my opinion, a far greater tool to have, to be able to have melodies which can imply harmony, which then allows you to put down the harmony. So when you're writing, when you're practicing improvisation concepts or whatever, I like to approach it this way. It's kind of backwards. All right, so that is one thing you can get out of this but there's a whole lot of information based on this alone. All right, now the next thing I want to talk about is using motivic development, and the piece is full of it. Like you have this kind of motion, this is just a C7, but what's interesting is the flat 7 is only on the top octave. And then F. So you find this a lot in classical music or Baroque or whatever. Right? And the beautiful thing about these kind of motifs is that it's so melodic, the motif itself. Now, another motif that happens in the second half is this one. And then similar thing starting from the 7th. So it does root and then goes up a 7th, then down. Same thing. And there it changes. It has a C sharp and then a B as well, which is implying the A7, because the previous part goes do da 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 do da 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 do da 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 do da do do da 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 do da da da. So it's doing a G minor to like a G diminished kind of sound. Right? Slowly. Right? So that is one. There's many. There. So the piece is full of it. It's full of these motivic ideas that are really just so beautiful. And the idea is not just to rip it off and try to play it in a jazz tune or something. No, it's just to really just spend time listening to it and just develop an ear for that. Because if you have this kind of a melodic sensitivity, man, it's the greatest skill you as a bass player can have. Because that is probably the weakest link with bass players, just being sensitive and sensible melodically. All right, so I already broke down this phrase, which is one of my favorites. Okay, now another one that I really like from the piece is from here. Okay, and slowly. Okay, you might actually recognize this. That's very bebop, which is there in this piece. So again, slow. Okay, and another one I really like is this one. that is basically just a G minor, 2 octaves, and then goes into the C, C7. Slowly. Up to speed. Now that takes a lot of time to get used to, so spend time with that. In fact, when I do 2 octave arpeggios, I like to move up as quick as possible on the 4th string. If major, minor, but I changed the fingering. Instead of doing this, I did this because I need to get to that B flat after. Alright, so again, if you want to see the whole thing slowed down, rewind this lesson, go to the very beginning and just slow it down. And if you have anything else you want to know or ask about this particular piece, you can get in touch with me. I will try and find the PDF file for this piece, sheet music, so you can check it out and learn it. I'll probably put up a link for a download. So I hope you guys get something out of this. Until the next one, I'll see you guys in the shed. Peace.